Hey guys, it's Krista here. I'm going to talk about my weekly reads, and I'll touch on the books that I didn't get to last week because of, my technical difficulties. Okay, so I'm just going to run through a whole bunch of books this video. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just going to touch on the ones that I didn't do a video on last week. Okay, so some of the ones I read last week was Minder by Kaynak. Is about a girl who, in the beginning of the story, she kills 4 boys with her mind. She's in a situation where it's kind of a self-defense thing, and she ends up going to a school setting where she can learn to use her powers. There ends up being a boy, Trevor, who she, you know, there is a boy, Trevor. And I really liked the relationship in it. I liked that there was just more to it. As they're in a school sitting where people can just kind of read each other's minds, they can see the pictures that flash through your mind. There's really not a lot of secrets you can keep in that kind of setting. I enjoyed the ending. There's a lot of action-packed, kind of save the world kind of feel to it. And I really like that, so I can't wait to read the next book. I ended up giving that one 4 stars. Another one that I read is... Crystal Shade Angini. This is by Esteban Salvo, and I bet I said that name wrong. It's just very visually descriptive writing, and you have to sit down and immerse yourself in this type of a book. It's about a girl that wants to become an angel, and when she dies, she gets the opportunity to go through angel training. And one of those things that just really gets you thinking, and it's enjoyable, and you just immerse yourself into a novel like this. I did enjoy it. It took me longer to get through. It's something that you kind of just have to shut off the world to pay attention to what's going on. As she goes through angel training, it gets darker and darker as you go. It's interesting. You guys should check it out. The book that I read is called The Annihilation of Foreverland. This one was a science fiction book. Kind of dark. It reminded me of the movie Camp with Mila Kunis. I think it came out like in 2007, and it was boys get sent to this camp, and we follow the story of Reed and Danny Boy, and it's kind of dark. You don't know what's going on. I don't want to call it surgery, but medical procedures that are going on here, and it's kind of just weird. You don't know what quite is going on. I don't really know if I describe it as scary, but it has a freak factor to it, and it is for teens. It's a good teen read, but it's weird, and you're kind of in this world where you just don't know what is happening, and some crazy doctor that keeps telling you that what they're doing is best for you. So it's kind of like a mental trip as well. But that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm just going to teach you a little bit. So you guys could read about that one. Oracle by CW Trisef. This one is a great adventure story. A boy gets washed up on the beach, doesn't remember anything about his past. He gets adopted by a woman and her daughter, and we're kind of getting introduced on the boy's first day of high school. So they're going to high school. He's a little weirded out. He doesn't look normal. He's almost described as albino with glowing eyes, really fair hair and skin. Something different about him. He kind of has a shimmer or a glow to him. But as the story gets going, a lot of different characters come in, and I really like the character dynamics in this book. You really get to learn about each one as a person and how they fit into the story as a whole. It was like even though there is one main character and the story kind of revolves around him, it's really all the characters coming together that build this story, and it's the story of an oracle. It's a great combination of characters, great plot, great adventure. I really enjoyed it, and I'm bordering on giving it 5 stars because it really was that good. I really can't say anything bad about this book. It was highly enjoyable. I love the writing, and I'm going to continue with the series. So, The Sin Collector by Jessica Fortunato. This is about a girl who collects sins of people so they can pass on, and she takes them into herself. she's like 100 years old. She gets sucked into this thing where sin collectors are dying, and she travels halfway across the world to try to figure out what's going on. And she's stuck between her old mentor and a boy, and she doesn't know who to believe or who to trust. So she's kind of just stuck in this mystery, and she's got to find out what's going on to the sin collectors before she becomes the next victim. So I thought it was interesting. I gave it 3 stars. Religious aspects to it where she's trying to figure out why I'm here, what's my purpose, kind of thing. So there's a lot of going back and forth about that. The next book I read was Talisman of El by Alicia Stone. I like the idea that the angels live inside the earth, I guess. They live in Earth's core. So they go on this, him and his friends go on an adventure to find the Garden of Eden and answers to questions, and this talisman as well. You know, I really like the creatures that they come across, the dangerous aspect of when they're going on their adventure to try to get through. It's got some interesting, unique characters, dynamics going on there. There's a group of like 4 kids that are working together to figure out their quest. The beginning and the ending of the story I was just okay with, but the middle I enjoyed a lot, and I ended up giving that one 3 stars. The Dead of Winter by Chris Priestley. This is definitely more towards middle grade readers that maybe like to get a little bit of scare creep factor put in there. The Dead of Winter is about a boy who ended up going to live with the family's lawyer after both parents are gone now, and he goes to live with the family lawyer who takes him in, and he starts hearing rumors and whispers about a poltergeist or a ghost on the property. It takes place in Victorian time, and so he decides that he's going to go out and try to figure out the mystery and what's going on. It has kind of the vibe of The Woman in Black or The Poison House, you know, ghostly, spooky, but I wouldn't call it horror, but it does have a great creep factor to it. But it is written for middle grade, and it is a shorter story. I breezed right through it. Just took me a couple of hours. And I thought it was an interesting, well-written read. I do think boys will enjoy this one. So if your kid likes, to be creeped out, spooked out, ghost stories kind of a thing, that's one that I would recommend for them to pick up. I read Eve by Anna Carey. This one I was expecting more out of for some reason. I liked the beginning of it. It really drew me in. I got sucked into this novel immediately as this girl's trying to escape this school that seems to have... I don't want to spoil anything, but she escapes from this school that seems to have something sinister going on after the girls graduate happening to them. So she kind of finds out the secret and decides that she needs to get out of there. And her and another girl go, they escape, and they run into some other kids, and that's when I kind of think it went stagnant, kind of sat for a while. As they're living their daily lives and learning more about the world, it kind of just kind of mellowed out a little bit, but then it does get more adventurous again in the end. I ended up rating it 3 stars because I wanted, I guess, more of the feel from the first of the novel. I just wanted that drive and anticipation happening throughout the whole thing, which I just didn't feel like I got from it. But I still thought it was really good. I enjoyed it, and that's Eve by Anna Carey, and I rated it 3 stars, and I am going to continue with that series. Next story I read was Angelina's Secret by Lisa Rogers. And it is about a girl who thinks that she can see the future. And then after an accident happens to a boy in the neighborhood, they go to visit him at the hospital, and her imaginary friend from her childhood shows up, and it turns out that the boy can also see her, and then it turns out that she's a ghost. So Angelina learns that she can see ghosts, and this starts dredging up her past as she's been to years of therapy already, and it kind of causes some weirdness in the family. Her mom's just not sure how to deal with it. Would she prefer her daughter can see the future or see ghosts? Who knows? And so some weird things just start happening to Angelina. Events at school. She starts seeing people that shouldn't be there, and eventually one of these things lead to a fight between her and her mother, and her mother sends her to the mental hospital. And this is she has to decide on whether she is okay with seeing ghosts or be on medicine or stay in a mental hospital for the rest of her life. And it's really a story about family. Her brother, her mother, and her dad play a huge role, and trying to help her figure out what is going on with her and what is best for her. So it's a great family togetherness kind of a story with the paranormal aspect in it. There's no swearing, there's no sex, there's no, it's a nice clean novel. I rated that one 3 stars as well. And that's it for this week. I'll talk about more books next week. So thanks for watching. Bye.